Hi Rich, I'm putting a new leg on my dad's drone today, so I thought I'll video opening it up and taking it leg off, and you can just see how easy it is. I'm no expert, mate. I've only done one drone before, but I spent quite a bit of time opening and shutting it. So I've set up this little lighting rig, so I can pop camera in here and just every now and then start it, show you the next bit. I'll turn it off, do what I'm doing, start it, show you next bit. Anyway. Okay, hope this helps you, mate. Just use the little tool that you use for your blades. That undoes virtually every screw on the body of your drone. I've got a little set of artery forceps, which I need if ever I need to reach in anywhere, and a very detailed little hook pair of tweezers. These are fantastic, by the way, if you need to reach around something and pull a wire round and feed it through, which you do quite a bit of with drone. But yeah, these are great if you can find a pair from model shops or something. Remove the battery and just leave it a few, well, I leave it a minute just to discharge anything that could be in there. You're supposed to be earthed when you're using these, but I'm not going to be touching any electronics really, so I'm not that bothered. I'm mainly dealing with body parts today. Undo the two screws on this top cover and then push a little button here on the front, and this will remove this top plate which covers your GPS sensor. I've just put one of those little screws back in to the GPS just to hold it, stop it wobbling about. But I'm going to be taking it off again in a minute, just so I can turn it over. And now I'll just undo this screw and this screw. Prise off gently the undercarriage. Press a few clips and remove the fan, and that can be taken away and put to one side. To get the back plate off, I've just done two screws underneath here. Now there's another couple of screws and they're under this sticker. So you have to just get something sharp, peel the sticker back slightly to about there, and there's a screw. Do the same about there, there's a screw, and the back plate will just come off. Right, the back's now open. There is a small push connector plug with no little locks or anything. It's just push straight on connector there, the little white one. That needs to be removed. Then by squeezing the corner of little prongs on the cooling fan, that can be removed, and then they can just be left hanging while you work. So just again, these little hook tweezers are really good. There we go. Just lifts upwards and it's off, and it connects the same way. Put it level on top and push it in, and it goes down tiny little guides. Do make sure it's pushed really firmly home when you do it. Right, this I find awkward, but it's only three little prongs on the corners. Well, I ain't got 3 fingers, so it's... I'll do it every time, and I'm not sure how I did it last time, because you're just really trying to press all 3 prongs and pull off at the same time. Oh, fuck it, I'll just leave it hanging. I don't really need it much. Right, so I'm going to be taking this arm off and replacing it with a new one. It's been glued there. This pin here is what holds it in, and I will undo that screw. Yeah. push from the other side and that whole pin just pops out, then that can be taken out. You feed out the wires. Now for this one, it's just a matter of looking what comes out of the arm, following it, and it's that one. So I would unplug that. It's again a push down connector. It's like, I'll show you in a bit of detail, but like a brass round pin with a round peg with a little pin in the middle, and that pushes onto there. It's got little seating grips that you push the cable into, and then there's another cable which is similar to this, and that feeds round and plugs into one of these bars here. I'll show you in close up soon. There's just two plastic grips either side, which are just pop-on grips, and you pull them off, and they're just made to hold the connectors in place. So you pop them off either side of the circuit board, put them to one side, find the wire. There's two on this side of the circuit board on the outer edge, and then two that reach over the circuit board and plug in the middle. Two I think are the front ones, the other two are the back ones either side. Not sure, I haven't looked closely yet. But so it's just a matter of popping that pin out, putting your new arm in, threading the wire either down and over or down and up and plugged in there, around, put in the little sockets and plugged in there, push this pin back in, put the screw on, then you're reassembling. That's literally how simple it should be, and I'll try and do it now and show you. Just give you that little talk. I thought I'd just show you up close if I can. There we go. So yeah, this pin pushes right. Now I flipped her over, taking out that little remaining grub screw that I put in just to hold the GPS antenna. Two little screws here on these plastic caps, one there and one there. Undo those, and with the blunt end of a pair of pliers, push the pin from the other side, and it should pop up enough to grab it and be able to pull out. And I think while doing that you have the legs closed, because there's no tension on the pin. Well, when they're open, there's two half cams that are pulling on the pin in two separate directions, so it grips it. When the legs are closed, that pin is free. So close the legs, lift that up, and undo these two retaining screws. I won't bother time lapsing this one. You see how clumsy I really work. Do remember to keep all your screws separate from each point. I'm quite good at remembering where I put them, but if you're not, make some little marked pots or something that you can remember. I always find it handy to video anyway, doing stuff like this, because even if you're not sharing it, you can go back to it and see what you took out from where. I'm by no means an expert, I'm just someone who's taken them apart and enjoy it. Right, so they're out. I should now be able to push these upwards, downwards, whichever way you think about it. Takes a bit of jiggling trying to hold it firmly in a secure place. There we go. It just popped through then. I was just getting carried away then. Forgot I was just changing a leg and not making an instruction video, and undid both screws when I only need to undo one. So I've popped one back in and popped out the right little pin. And that's what it looks like. Two little boxes with a spring in between. One can turn one way, one can turn the other, and in the middle is some form of little ratchet. I did take one of these apart by accident once by removing that split spring, split clip. Don't do it. It is an ass to put back together. Can be done, but it takes like 4 pairs of hands. Anyway, so that's out. You can just see under there, under the GPS. So now, both the front and the back on this side are not attached. So the damaged one here, I can just ease her out. There is a very important little black clip that sits between the arms. Okay, when you slide it out, put that to one side. That has to go back in. Okay, very important. And now it becomes like sort of like a juggling. You're holding a very. It's like holding a blackbird that's been hit by a car and it's totally shattered. The wings are floppy. Everything's floppy. So it's a matter of just gently supporting things as you ease this through and look where the cables are coming from. So for now, just I'm going to be tossing it about. I'm going to put one more grub screw back in the GPS sender, so from the grub screw pile for there, and that'll just hold that from flopping about while I'm turning around and dealing with wiring. It's also handy to magnetise your little tool. So I've just secured that plate. It just stops it tugging on that wire. It's quite a delicate bit. And now turn her over. Okay. So by just wiggling her a little, I can see where that wire coming out goes, and it feeds behind the rear, under this clip, and down this side of the drone. So I was wrong on the other side. I suppose it's like your brain. Each side is connecting to the other side. I don't know how they figure it, but when you look at the new ones, you can tell almost where it wants to lie by how it's bent. You can see where it was before. It does help in figuring out where things are again. So that is that one. So I'll start feeling down it and just pulling it out of any little retaining clips that hold the wire. There's one there. I'll just use the hook of my tooth just to run it down and pull it out. There we go, that's that out. Follow it down, it goes under this, what looks like a plastic retaining strip, but it isn't. It's actually a ribbon wire, so be very careful with this. It goes to one of your ground sensor. So it goes under there, and it goes to the outside edge on this case. So with your nail, just get on there and gently prise all around it until it pops off. Not your nail, use some tweezers. There we go, she's off. I'll just feed it under that ribbon. Just guiding it a little with tweezers if I can. Damn thing. might be a clip under there. So I'll just, yes, there was a little clip, like a grip clip like that one there, just under the ribbon. So I just had to pull upwards and now it's free of it. And that should, yeah, pass under. So that one's out. When I take out this arm now, that will thread down behind. Just do make sure you look at which way it threads, because it's handy on coming back. So that can go out a little further. Now I'll take these two retaining bars. There's one this side and one that side, and it just clamps these into position. And all it is just a peg going through and onto a little hole. You can literally prise them apart and they'll come off. It's quite easy. There's the one. These have got those little clips that I said hold onto the wire at the edges. Do need to come out though. Right, I'm trying to just have a look now and see which cable it is. And by moving it and jiggling it, I think it's this one. Let's just uncheck. No, it's that one. Center on this side, so. Right, so I've changed over his fancy girly bits. Right, so I'll feed these through. This is when the hooked tweezers come in handy. Many times on this you're going to feel like you wish you had loads of hands.